Private Harry Patch, the Fighting Tommy. He was the youngest member of his regiment, just 17 years old when he enlisted in August of 1914, not long after his 16th birthday. Private Patch was thrown into hell. At the age of 16, he fought at the front lines against the Germans for 4 years. He saw things no child should ever witness, horrors that would leave scars for deeper than any wound. But despite all this, he survived the war only to return home to a hero's welcome. It was March 11, 1918 when everything changed for Private Patch. He had been fighting on the Western Front when suddenly out of nowhere, the Germans began retreating. Private Patch and his fellow British soldiers were stunned. They watched as the Germans fled, abandoning their trenches and equipment. It seemed like a miracle. Could it be that the war was finally over? With the retreat came hope. Hope for an end to the bloodshed. Hope for a chance to return home. So Private Patch and his comrades followed the retreating Germans, advancing further than they had ever done before. But then reality hit. The Germans had laid a trap. As Private Patch and the others closed in, they were attacked from all sides. Private Patch found himself in the middle of a fierce battle. It was every man for himself. And in the chaos, Private Patch was injured. He was medevaced back to England, but his time on the front lines had taken its toll. He was suffering from what we today call PTSD. For the next 6 months, Private Patch was sent from one hospital to another, trying to piece together the shattered fragments of his mind. He endured painful operations and agonizing months of recovery. Finally, he was deemed fit for duty and returned to the front lines, but it was a far cry from the young, eager soldier he once was. Now haunted by the ghosts of his past, he had become a shell of his former self. His commanding officer noted his lack of progress, and in November of 1918, Private Patch was sent home. When he returned to his village, the townspeople hailed him as a hero, unaware of the turmoil he was facing. For Private Patch was a changed man. The war had taken something from him. He was now plagued by nightmares, shaking constantly, and was unable to sleep during the day, unable to cope with life back home. He left his village and enlisted in the army again, hoping that a return to some semblance of normality might help him overcome his demons. In 1920, Private Patch was posted to India, where he served for the next 13 years. There, away from the familiar haunts of his past, he found a measure of peace. He married and raised a family, finding solace in the normalcy of domestic life. However, his wartime trauma never truly left him, even in India. The nightmares